What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twisted Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is of the Netflix movie Straw. This is one of Tyler Perry's projects, and I can honestly tell you that I was not going to review this because I let other people's review throw me off. And I didn't listen to them. I just read titles, and I've seen titles all over YouTube saying that this is probably one of Tyler Perry's worst projects. I would have to disagree. The main thing that I thought was horribly bad in this doggone movie was Teyana Taylor's wig. That's the only thing I thought was bad. And her makeup. I didn't like her makeup either. I didn't like Teyana Taylor is a beautiful girl, but her makeup in this movie and her wig, it was not doing it for me. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. So this may be a spoiler recap or review. The summary of the movie is that this is about a single mother who had a devastating bad day, and she's pushed to her breaking point. Okay, so I actually cried a couple of times in this movie. Let me tell you, Taraji P. Henson and Teyana Taylor, they had a scene in this movie that the dialogue was so intense and so emotional. I started crying. Teyana Taylor was crying. I think she was crying on set for real. Because the way Taraji delivered them doggone lines, baby, it made you feel something. And I was like, okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, so we open up in this dirty ass house. I mean, filthy. And I hate the trope that because she's a single mother, she has to work hard, that she don't know how to keep a fucking clean house. Now, I know, me, myself, I'm not the cleanliness, I'm not the one who likes to clean that way. but I'm lazy. That's my excuse, okay? I know sometimes we work too hard, that we got to lay down. But this house was beyond nasty. This house was behind, I had a hard day at work and I can't touch it. This was like years of neglect in this home. So we pan into the kitchen. There is a lot to tell about this household just from this opening shot, right? So we see a few things. Like I said, the kitchen is fucking nasty. There's dirty pots and pans and plates all over the place. Trash, open up graham cracker cases, empty boxes of shit, just all over the motherfucking place. And from the things that we see, I could say, okay, yeah, she don't have a lot of time. She don't have a lot of energy, and she just ain't got the patience to clean. It's just nasty, right? I'm surprised we didn't see a doggone roach scurry across the doggone kitchen sink. It shows us that she don't have the time nor energy to clean up after herself. We got water dripping in the sink. The sink was full of fucking dishes. The faucet was dripping. It had been dripping so long that the sink had started to fill up. Okay, dirty bowls with remnants of ramen noodles out on the countertop on a table. I mean, tells me that she low income because of the ramen. I know a lot of people can eat ramen, but yeah, there was 2 plates there. One person didn't eat it all. It was still a whole glass of Kool-Aid that was sitting right there, right? The music was coming through the walls, literally shaking the house. It was like a fucking earthquake. I thought we were set to LA. Come to find out, this TV show, this movie is set in Georgia. Okay, but the way that music was booming, I mean, the whole house was rattling, right? So you got to be in a housing type project. That's my next thought. Okay, she had an eviction notice on the table, which means she ain't been paying her bills. So I was like, okay, does she even have a job? Yeah, she did have a job though, but she getting evicted from the house. And we continue to pay in this dirty ass house. The stove, the refrigerator, the walls, they covered in grime and filth and soot and grease. They don't look like they have ever been painted, have ever been wiped down. The moment I was thinking this house is hepatitis waiting to happen, we pay into a bottle of amoxicillin, which is an antibiotic, right? Okay, Somebody got an infection of some sort that they trying to fight, and we know that there's at least one child in the household, a girl, and definitely they are black. So we are seeing these things as we pan through the house. We go into this singular bedroom. It's clothes all over the floor. A tired woman, she laying there in the bed next to this little girl. They completely undisturbed by their surroundings. The little girl got headphones on. The little girl got on headphones. The TV was on, but it was off. You know, it had the black static, which is telling me that this was set back in the 80s or 90s. Throughout this movie, we never really got a confirmation on when the time was, other than the license plates on the back of one of the cars was said that it was current. So the TV set with the TV off threw me off, because TV don't go off no more. Okay. There was like 2 fans, one on the table, one in the window. The ceiling fan and the ceiling like it's about to fall down. You could tell it was patched up there, hanging on for dear life. You know, on one of the pill bottles, though, I did notice a name. It was Aria Wilkinson. And at this moment, we don't know if it's the mama or the daughter that's in the bed. There was other pill bottles there everywhere. But we didn't get to see what those pill containers were. There was even pills on the nightstand next to the bed. And the alarm clock was reading 6:01 a.m. I say, somebody's blasting that music that fucking loud at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, we finna have a problem. We finna have a problem. We know damn well the noise ordinance or the ants. You don't supposed to have that music up there fucking loud after 7 a.m. They don't even let you cut your grass before 7 a.m. Okay. So I was like, okay, it's hot. It's summertime. And she indeed is a single mom. She tight on money. She working hard, take her home. She always tired. She ain't taught her daughter how to really look after herself at home, because the house too nasty for that. You know how when we was little, our parents was gone, and it was out working. We was them latchkey kids, and we had to clean the house, we had to cook, we had to do all kind of shit. This house too fucking nasty for that. So that ain't been instilled into this baby girl. Then we get a quick flash of her in the hallway of a hospital. And it looks like she's walking out against doctor's orders, because the doctor and the nurse are standing behind her, just watching her walk out this corridor, and she's carrying the baby girl in her arms. The little girl looks to be about 7 or 8 years old, and she's wearing the same clothes that she has on right now in this bed. So this had to be the night before. We learned that the little girl is orange. She's the one that's deeply medicated. She's getting teased at school because the teacher said something in front of them, the other classmates, about her not having no money for her lunch. She needed to put $40 on her lunch tab. And I was thinking, if this is set back in the 80s and 90s, when I thought this little girl should have been on free lunch, especially if her mama's struggling the way that they had made this, built this up to be. She should have been on free lunch. But again, the way that this movie played through, it made it seem like this wasn't the 80s or 90s. So I don't know why the TV was off. So I had some issues with a couple things, but not much, not much to really set the tone for the movie or what have you. So where was I at? Okay, so the baby girl, she, I guess, into science. She had a little science project that was there, and she's getting her up in the morning to get her bath ready to go take a bath or whatever. And the mama, who we don't know her name at this point, is saying that every dime that she had, she spent on the batteries and the wires so that little girl can get that science project done. But like I say, evidently this little girl got a condition, and we don't know exactly what that condition is. Okay. It says she be collapsing. She'd be in the bathtub by herself. So, just from rolling the credits, we get to see this is a star-studded cast, black royalty in this doggone film. We got Rockman Dunbar, we got Sinbad, we got Glenn Thurman, Sherry Shepherd, Teyana Taylor, and of course Taraji P. Henson as the main character. I almost didn't recognize Sinbad. He's playing a homeless guy named Benny, always out there looking out for a handout outside her apartment. Now at this point, like I said, we hadn't learned what Taraji's name was. She goes and she drops her baby off at school, and the teacher or the principal, I'm not sure which one she was, she looked kind of strange at the fact that she was there dropping off her daughter, right? And I was like, what the fuck was that about? Well, Taraji make it to work, and I was confused as hell about this point too. Like I say, when she came in, it's clear that the store was still closed because the gate was closed. She had to literally move the gate, because you used to have a gate in front of the sliding door. She had to move the gate to come into the store. But when she came to the store was packed. It's full to the hilt. Now, she just took her daughter to school, so I'm going to say it's 8 something right now, and she's getting over to the store. The store is packed. She goes in the back to, get her uniform together, whatever, and her boss comes in, which is Glenn Thurman, and he is bitching at her about, like, somebody called off already. It's only 2 registers. We need to have her up on the fucking register. And the customers are already hollering at her coming through the store, like, why she taking so long? He hollering at her about why she taking so long to get there and everything. So she goes up to the register. She starts to check out a customer, and the customer got all this stuff, steaks and lobsters. I don't remember what the girl had on the thing, but what she had wasn't on the WIC voucher. And she trying to get all this stuff on the WIC. Now, but then if they had a card, like I said, they have a WIC card instead of the actual vouchers. So we used to have the vouchers. We had to go in, they had to check off to make sure that what we got is what on the list. I had had the WIC for 5 years, child. And I'm not ashamed. So they had a card. So I was like, okay, so this is not back in the 80s and 90s and why she got a TV that cuts off. Anywho, or maybe she had cable and her cable got cut off because she had a whole lot of bills in the apartment that hadn't been paid either. That might have been it. Okay, so anywho, she goes in there and trying to tell these people, look, you can't get this on WIC. And they get into an argument. The girl's like, well, I do it all the time. Sometimes, depending on who on the register, they let you slide. If she not finna let her slide, ma'am, I don't know who did that for you. I can't do it, okay? And, oh, damn, I just had an epiphany moment. And so, the girl got upset, and she cussed out, and the dude she was with, he picked up the glass bottle and he threw it at the floor. So she got glass all over the floor. Now, this man, the Glenn Thurman, he comes up, and I forgot what his name was. Richard, I think it was. He comes up, and he's like, girl, what the hell is going on? Keep cleaning this shit up, right? And so now he got to pull her off the register. So customers all mad, and now remember, it was only 2 people on the register. She goes in the back, she tried to get the mop and everything to go clean up everything. The other cashier or another store employee, which I thought was a cashier, she comes to the back and she's like, hey, girl, you okay? You know what I'm saying? How's the baby? And she's like, my baby is fine. She tell her that, she need to relax, stop working so hard, stop putting too much pressure on herself. She gonna break, she gonna snap, She looking out for her best interest, right? So at that particular moment, she gets a phone call. Well, from what we gather from the phone conversation, something wrong with the baby at school. Now, the baby had already told her that she needed butter for lunch, so she goes into explaining about, I'm going to bring that $40, I'm going to bring up to her at lunchtime. Now, she's going to do a lot on her break or at lunchtime because she's supposed to be going back to her apartment to pay for her rent. And she told the landlord she's going to be back from her on break around 10 o'clock with her check. Well, Richard, I think that was his name, Glenn Thurman character, he didn't want to pay her a check. He was like, girl, you crazy. I got a line out the door. I need you on the register. You can worry about your damn check right now. So she just wanted her fucking check. And he wouldn't give her a check. So she couldn't leave on break to go cash her check because he ain't gave it to her. But in the meantime, since the school is calling, they tell her, look, we need you to come up here because something is wrong. Okay, and she like, what you mean? You knew my daughter was sick? I told y'all about her illnesses. She needed her medication, this, that, and the third. And then she, talk to her about why the fuck y'all up here talking about her doggone lunch bill in front of all the kids. That's embarrassing as hell. So basically, she got to go to the school. Well, Rich come back there, and he like, the fuck you mean you got to leave? You finna leave me in the bind? And she was like, I just need to get my check. He said, you think I'm finna pay you right now? I got to go up on the register and do your fucking job for you. You got 30 minutes to get back here. I'm like, 30 minutes? How fucking close is this school? So he tell her she need to be back in 30 motherfucking minutes to come get back on the register, or she gonna lose her damn job. He's sick and tired of her shit. Okay, so she rushes to go down to the school. And she gets to the school, and the principal or teacher is there, and she talking about the doggone lunch bill. She talking about her medicine. And at the same time, there's child services. Child services there, and they like, look here, we've got to take this baby. She come to school, she malnourished, she dirty, and she goes on to explain, look, I got 2 fucking jobs. You know what I'm saying? I do my job. I take these 2 jobs and get the food that we can get, that we can eat. And I'm thinking, damn, she got 2 motherfucking jobs, and that's all she doing. And they had ramen. But then, you know, sometimes it's really fucking hard for her. So she got 2 fucking jobs. She doing what she can do, and she can do her best. And she may not have hot water all the damn time, but she gonna make sure she bathe her fucking child, right? And the lady's like, no, we can take your baby. And they carted the little child off to school, and she's screaming and she's hollering. Come to find out, the baby had seizures, okay? She had a seizure, fell down in the bathtub. So when she took her to the hospital, she had bruises all on her back, and they reporting the bruises to the child services, okay? And so the baby is screaming, mama, 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 I want my mama. She telling her, don't scream, you got asthma. So she got seizures, she got asthma. And I still don't know what the amoxicillin is for, because again, it's like an antibiotic. But she got seizures, and she got asthma. She got all kind of problems, and hopefully the child gonna grow out of all these problems. That's what the doctor told her was gonna happen. So her damn baby get taken away. She left there standing in the middle of the hallway, child. So she leaves, and she trying to get back to work, and now it's pouring down rain. Traffic is at a standstill, and she trying to weave her way through traffic and everything. And as she tries to weave her way through traffic, another car comes out at the same time. Another car comes out, so they almost hit each other. They didn't hit each other, they almost hit each other. And the guy rolls down the window, cuss her out, call her a fucking bitch. You know how I be doing on Travel Talk Tuesday. He going off of her, telling her she a fucking bitch, this, that, and the third. She rolls her window up, and he throws something in her window. Now me, I would have got out and wanted to fight his ass in the middle of the damn rain, or ram his ass with my fucking car, because he threw something in my fucking car. But that ain't what she did. She's like fretting because she only got 30 minutes to get her ass back to work, and she just lost her fucking child. Okay? They just took her damn child away. So she decided it was an opening in traffic, so she finna go around this little traffic. And when she did that, the guy in the car said, oh no, bitch. Oh, I'm finna make your life miserable. I'll make sure you never wish you woke up this motherfucking morning. So he decides he gonna chase her down the road. Like, he in such a tizzy, this motherfucker is driving over the orange cones so he can stay up with her. And he rams her shit, spins her around. She did a 360, at least 360 doggone times in the middle of the doggone road. And I just knew she was finna die. I just knew somebody else was gonna run into her or something else. And he hit her shit hard as a motherfucker. So when she starts spinning, she trying to calm herself. She's still checking her watch, like, I only got that much time to get back to work. And the car wouldn't crank back up. The car wouldn't crank back up, okay? So she gets out the car to go pop the hood to see it. Maybe she could see what the fuck is going on. Now, when she did this, a police rolled up. A female police officer rolls up. And the female police officer was like, ma'am, can I get your identification? She said, oh, thank God you're here. Somebody just ran me off the road. And then the guy walks up. She said, that's him right there. He says, bet you didn't know I was a motherfucking cop, did you? I'm a cop, okay? So this is a cop that's going out here running motherfuckers off the road. Been there, done that. I had it happen to me before, too. Okay, right in St. Louis, on getting off on the Jenner Station Road exit. I was heading to work, going over to 170, and this motherfucking cop he was in an unmarked car, just like this guy was. Matter of fact, I think it was the same type of car. It was like a gray Hellcat, and he backing up the fucking entrance ramp, the entrance onto the highway. He backing up the goddamn ramp, and almost hit me. And I maneuvered around his motherfucking ass and continued on driving. I looked up, this motherfucker following me, lights flashing and shit, and going around all wild, this, that, and the third. Same type of shit. Motherfucker tried to run me off the road. We had problems that night. I didn't get locked up. Nobody died. But it could have been. But anywho, so he tells her that he's gonna fuck her up, this, that, and the third. Threatens her life. Said he gonna make sure he found a legal way to kill her ass. Make sure all all her kids don't grow. That type of shit. And the female officer's like trying to calm him down. Okay. With words. That's it. Like, calm down. You're saying too much. Go back to your car. You know. And so she asked her for her license and for registration. She gave it to her. Her license and registration expired. She's like, ma'am, I'm getting paid today. I was going to go take up today. I know, just give me a chance. And the lady like, no, can't give you no chance. I gotta give you a ticket. with more money than she can't afford. And she said, and I gotta tow your shit. She's like, you gotta tow my car. I need my fucking car to get my daughter back and forth because she needs her medication, this, that, and the third. Gotta get her back for school. I need my car. You can't give you my car. But she told her shit and impounded her fucking car. So she finally make it back to work, child. And it's 2 hours later. Her boss is like, what the fuck? She was like, I need my check. He was like, oh, hell no. You fired. I don't give a damn about what you need, what you got to do. And she's like, she said, I can't get fired. I need this fucking job, you know. He's like, what the fuck they got to do with me? Okay. She offloading on all her damn problems on him. He's still like, what the fuck does they got to do with me? Now that you were fired, I'm not handing you shit. Get the fuck out of my store. It's going to be in the mail. That's how we do with employees that get fired. We put that shit in the mail. Okay. So he wouldn't give a fucking check. So she goes home. She makes it home to see all her shit sitting on the sidewalk. Now, the lady's like, you told me you was going to be back here at 10 o'clock on your break. It's way past 10 o'clock. You ain't fucking here with my money. All your shit is outside. I'm like, damn, she moved that out quick. She moved that out quick, okay? Had all her stuff out there. All her baby medicine just thrown all over the doggone ground. Her baby science project. So, she started packing up her shit, picking up the baby's toys, picking up the medication, picking up the science project. And she crying and screaming and just we get one of them school days guttural screams from her. Like, this is just too fucking much. So, now she ain't got nowhere to live. So she like, fuck it, I need to go back and get my damn money. So she shows back up, and Glenn Thurman, I think his name is Richard, he's in the back. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? She's like, I need my check. Okay, I gotta get a place to stay. And he still ain't giving a fuck. He still ain't caring. And then while she back there trying to talk to him about giving the doggone money, her check, she's like, it's right there. And so all you gotta do is reach your hand over and grab it and give it to me, right? A guy walked back there and he reads her name tag and say, hey, Janiyah, everything good or something like that. And then, all of a sudden this motherfucker's pulling out a gun. He is robbing them. Richard got all the money from the safe and everything, not the safe, but the register laying up on the damn counter. He counting it. He's probably cashing people's checks. That's how we used to do too. Our employees, they would have to go somewhere else to cash their checks. We would cash them right there in the building. That's maybe why he had all the money out at that particular time. But they made him go in the safe and take out everything. And so when he took out everything, he put it on the table. And they made Janiyah, which is Taraji's name. We learned just now. We learned her name. They made her put all the money in her backpack. And he was trying to take the backpack. Okay. So she was like, I don't want this money. You can't take my bag, because the kid's medicine was in there, right? So she's like, you can't take my bag. So she's struggling with him about the bag. They get into a fight. Somehow she get the dude gun and she shoots him dead. Boom. Okay. Now he on the ground, dead. The other guy look at her, take off, and he run. He on the ground, dead. And Richard jumps up and says, you fucking did this. They knew who you were. He said your damn name. I'm calling the motherfucking police. You going to prison. He picked up the phone. Said everything. One of my employees just set me up. I've been robbed. And her name is such and such and such and such. Y'all need to come get her. And while he's saying all this on the phone, she said, I don't know the hell you ain't. She took that gun and blasted his ass too. Shot him dead. Yes, she did. Shot him dead. Then she took her paycheck, and she walked the fuck up out of there. Well, earlier in the day, before she was about to head to the school, she had stopped over at the bank, which was across the plaza. And she was trying to make a withdrawal from the ATM to get the $40 out for the lunch fee. And the money wouldn't come out. So she went to the bank and she talked to the lady in the bank. Chad, I don't remember none of these characters' names. Nicole. With Sherry Shepherd. Okay, so Nicole, she was there, and she's the bank manager. She's telling her, well, the reason why you can't get no money out of the account is because it's going to bring your balance lower than what the minimum required is. Usually the minimum required is like $5, but apparently in this account, the minimum required would have been $10. And she was trying to withdraw $40, and she had $47 in her, but it would not let her do it. But she had to get over to the school because she had, like I said, she had to be back by 30 minutes. So she ended up running out of there. So now she's back at this same bank again because, like I said, she grabbed the check and she's inside the bank. It got blood splatters on the check, and she get there and the bank is closing. And the guard is like, we closed. She's like, man, I just need to catch my check. I need to get it. Well, Nicole saw her, and Nicole said, go on, let her in. All right. So when she goes in, this is another thing that throws me off, y'all. When she goes in, there's nobody else in this bank. She walks directly up to the counter. And she walked up to the counter. The cashier was like, oh, he must have a kid, but they got slushy on the checking line. And she was like, I just need to cash my check. You know what I'm saying? The check was $521. She just needed to cash her fucking check. And she didn't have no ID. So the teller was like, I can't cash this without your ID. Her name was Tessa. She was like, Tessa, girl, I've been here I don't know how many times before. You know me. Just cash the dollar check. Tessa was like, I can't do it. You can go talk to the manager, which was Nicole, and see if she can authorize it, but I can't authorize it, though. So she getting frustrated, and she was saying what all she needed to do, and she pulled the gun out and put it on the counter and said, I just need you to cash my fucking check, right? And when she did that, the teller next to Tessa, I forgot her name, she looked over and she saw what was happening, and she tripped the silent alarm. Okay, so when she tripped the silent alarm, Nicole was in her office and she saw the alert come up on the screen that the silent alarm has been tripped. So when that happened, the dispatcher called. It was like, hey, we got a silent alarm at your bank. What's popping off? She said, yep, we being robbed right now. She said, matter of fact, the girl got a bomb. So she had her daughter's science project in her book bag. Remember, it's one of the reasons why she didn't want the guy to take it, the science project and the medicine. Well, it was going off. It was beeping. So Nicole instantly thought that it was a bomb. So she told the police the girl had a bomb, baby. And so they was like, the police on the way. So she walks out casually and she tells the guard, hey, get all these people out the bank. And I was like, what people? The bank was closing when she first pulled up, and when she walked in, wasn't nobody in the bank. She walked on up to the doggone teller by herself. But now it's a whole line of people. Where these fucking people come from? The bank is closed. Huh, Tyler Perry, where does the people come from? So, like I said, I had a few issues. But the bank was supposed to be closed, but now it's a line full of people in there. It's an older couple, another older lady, and this young dude, right? And she telling him to get everybody out the bank. And she said, look, the lady up there is robbing us, and she got a bomb. Okay. So, what happened? She gives the phone to the security guard to talk to the police, what have you. And they're going on and on about the doggone money, and the Tessa is like, they cleaning out the cash cow. Just putting the money up there. She's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? I just want my check cash. I don't want all this money. Here, taking it back. So now it's a whole lot of commotion. So Nicole come up there and like, hey, what's going on? She said, why is this bitch over here giving me all this damn money? I don't want all this money. They screaming and trembling and crying and shit. She's like, what the fuck is she crying for? I just want my damn money. I want my $521 and I want them in 20s. Give me my fucking money. That's all I want you to do is cash my damn check. So Nicole is panicking, and when the customers in line realize what's going on, the young dude, decided he gonna be big Draws McGraw, right? So he tries to rush her. Now in the meantime, police have lined up outside. It's a bunch of them. And included in them police was the one who ran her off the road and threatened to kill her if he had a legal way to do it, and the girl who wrote them the tickets, So there's a bunch of police out there, and they all lined up. And that's when Tayana Taylor comes in. She is, I guess, one of the first on the scene, and she's just trying to investigate who this person is inside the bank, because they think it's a bank robbery. And her chief comes out. He's Rockman Dunbar. He comes out. Her and her partner not agreeing on how to handle this matter. He want to treat it as a bank robbery. She like, something ain't right. I think this is just a mama that snapped, because they looked at the video from the actual store. And when they went there to the video store, she said it looked like she was part of the robbery too, and she just probably snapped, right? So they wanted to find out more about her. So they went over to the apartment complex and they saw that, she'd been kicked out, and they saw the bottles of medicine for the baby and everything like that. So they saw all this information when they get the call about the bank robbery. They end up running back to the bank robbery, and they take the lead on the case because they realize it's the same person they're looking for at the doggone bank. So, I lost my train of thought. So, like I said, okay, so inside the bank, the little young dude, he decides that he wants to be the hero, and he decides to try to rush Janiyah. He rushes her. They get into a struggle, and the gun goes off. When the gun goes off, him and the bank security guard run out of the damn bank. They run out right into the police, and they tell the police, hey, she in there robbing the bank. She got a gun. Ain't nobody hurt, though. We got into a little struggle when I tried to get at her, and the gun went off. But nobody is shot. She ain't killed nobody. Everybody else in there good. So Tayana decides that she going to be the hostage negotiator at this particular point. Why they didn't ask them guys how many people in the bank, I don't know. It's usually what they do. If they got somebody to come out, they be like, how many people in there, how many people with her. They would do all that, but they didn't do none of that. So Tayana Taylor get on the phone, and she tries to talk to her. At first, one of the guys called, and she hung up on him, Or is that the way it happened? She hung up on him. They tried to call her first. Oh, they tried to call her. The phone was ringing. She picked it up, and they said it was Officer such and she hung up. Okay. So then Tayana tried to call back, and then she's like, let me talk to a woman to woman. She got fired by a man. She killed a man. She did this by a man. All this stuff happened by men. So let her talk to a woman. She feel more comfortable. Hold on for a second. Okay. So, Tayana Taylor tried to negotiate with her, and while she doing this, news reporters show up. So they see on the TV screen in the bank, there's a whole lot of ruckus going on. And she see that the police are there for her, and they think that she killed somebody, which she did, and that she's robbing this bank and has a bomb. And she's like, what the fuck? Why do they think I got a bomb? Why do they think I'm robbing this bank? I ain't trying to rob no bank, right? So while she's watching this feed, she sees the officer who threatened her life. And she was like, oh, hell no. Why is he up there? He trying to kill me. Okay. So when she gets on the phone with Tayana Taylor character, and they start trying to negotiate, she tells her, I ain't coming out nowhere. Not long that damn officer out there. He tried to kill me. They towed my fucking car. This, that, and the third. Okay. So during this whole process, the people in the bank mad at her. They like, look, we trying to go. We trying to leave. Two people just walked the fuck out, and she lets them walk out. And they like, what the? She just letting them go. They got the news feed inside. One of the tellers set up this doggone camera so they could see everything. She live streaming. The live stream is showing on the TV, but she can't hear herself on this TV. Make it make sense. That didn't matter. It makes sense to me. The TV wasn't turned down. The news feed is showing the live stream that's going on inside the bank. You can hear the echo, but she don't recognize that she on the TV live. Make it make sense. It didn't. Okay, so they get into this feverish search, trying to get her or negotiate with her to come outside the bank. And like I say, it's a whole lot of misunderstanding keep going on over and over again. And the chick Tessa is starting to get on my fucking nerves, okay? The old lady in there like, hey, I'm tired, I need to sit down. She gets her a chair, and they like, why would she get this old lady a chair? She robbing the fucking bank. She got them all seats, so they all could be comfortable. And they all sit down there. And then we get the dialogue with her and Tayana Taylor talking about how life is hard and all the shit that happened to her. And so we hearing all this live. She lost her job. She lost her apartment. Her daughter's sick. She need money for school. And she keep talking about she need to get this $40 over to this school. And I'm thinking, they just took your fucking kid away from you. Why you still need to try to get money over to this school? It's $40, right? And she makes Nicole promise to take the $40 over to the school. But this scene, the whole dialogue, I ain't finna go through it all, but the whole dialogue was so deep and intense, and my dog is barking because my daughter just took my dog outside. So deep and intense that I was crying like a motherfucker. Taraji played the hell out of this scene, if nothing else. She was basically losing her fucking mind. So they tried to make sure that the FBI wasn't called in, because they said the FBI come in, it's gonna be all a big fucking mess. And eventually the FBI shows up. So while the FBI showing up, Teyana Taylor character, I can't remember her name, they trying to figure out who the fuck is this officer she talking about. So they going through searching the records, see if anybody wrote any tickets, anybody told any cars. And they finally come find out what officer it was. He was over from the next county. And they went up to him, and first the police officer they told her car was trying to give half-assed information. She was trying to protect him. She's like, I don't know who the officer was. And the old girl was like, you lying. Stop fucking lying. Okay? You fucking lying. Meanwhile, inside the bank, the older lady, she getting sick. She got diabetes. She needed medicine. She been eating peppermints all fucking day. She needed medicine. So they like, no, let her go too. So she tells Nicole to walk around. Nicole goes to walk around. And, everybody feeling for her at this point. Her sob story has went all over the doggone internet. And another thing that got to me, they showing all these different scenes and places that's watching it that had no connection to Janiyah. They didn't show the grocery store people. They did show the hospital, but it was like a whole staff of people. She mentioned that she went to nurse school. They didn't show people that she used to go to nurse school with. They never showed her second job. These are the things I thought that they may have focused on as far as like the crowd control. The people who had already left the bank, maybe they was watching it and they had a different understanding. They did show her landlord who had kicked her out. And then they all ended up at the bank. And so it was a whole crowd of people now at the bank rooting for her, like, free Janiyah, free Janiyah, free Janiyah, right? And she was very insistent that she wasn't going nowhere until that officer was gone, okay? So now they got to prove to her that the officer is gone. And she's like, I need to see pictures that you got him. You got the right person, okay? While we in this bank, we learn, like I said, it's all getting real touchy about all the stuff that's happened to her, and everybody feeling for her except for Tessa. Tessa trying to get the fuck out of there. She trying to, every time she turned her back, she tried to sneak out the door. She can't get out the door. She leaving messages on the windows in the bathroom for the FBI people and everything. And then we come to find out that she really ain't got no bomb. Of course, it was like blinking and everything there. And so she tried to disconnect it again. They like, no, wait, no, you ain't gotta do this, you ain't gotta do this. It wasn't no fucking bomb, y'all. It wasn't a fucking bomb. And she's like, y'all motherfuckers thought I had a bomb? Oh, you need to call them and tell them I ain't got no damn bomb. They misunderstood. And so Tessa snuck off to the bathroom again and wrote on the window that she ain't got no damn bomb. And the bomb was the only thing keeping the police from storming in there, right? But Nicole was trying to tell her, no, we ain't gonna tell them you ain't got no bomb, because she knew this the only thing that's keeping from storming in there. So they negotiated with, once that officer's off scene, that she will walk out with her. Nicole promised her that she would take custody of her daughter, because she knows she's going to jail. She knows she was going to jail. And I thought my daughter went out there with the dog, because he steady just barking. Like I said, she knew she was going to jail. The FBI, like I said, they came in, they took over the case. They didn't want to hear nothing that the police officers had to say. They just want to go in and storm the place. So she negotiated to the point where Teyana Taylor character finally went up to the door and like showed her my phone. This is the officer we got. She's like, yep, that's him. So she let Tessa and the other bank teller girl go. And Nicole was like, I'm staying here with her. I'm not going. I'm gonna walk out this door with her. And so while she was there talking, the FBI agent supposedly gave a signal that he said, do it now. So when they said do it now, her mom called her. She didn't want to talk to her mom at first. Her mama called her and said, girl, what's wrong with you? We in here trying to rob this damn bank. And she was like, mama, I gotta do this. I gotta get the girl medicine. I gotta do this. I gotta get us a place to stay. And her mom was like, baby, that baby is dead. She died last night. When you took her to the hospital for falling in the bathtub, she died. And then it hit her. So everything that we had been seeing throughout the day that she had been doing with the baby, like taking her to school, wasn't no child to her. When she dropped out of school, and I said that the principal was like, looked weird, like why she was there, because she had no child there with her. When she got the phone call that the baby was being taken, or she didn't come to school about the baby being taken, and she got there and if CFS was there taking the child away, there was no CFS that was there. When she got to the school, the principal was like, "Why are you here? I didn't call you. I'm not understanding what you're here for." You know what I'm saying? So it was all in her god doggone mind. Even when we go back to the house, the reason why there was one plate of ramen still sitting there in the glass Kool-Aid, and she ain't made a meal for her and her daughter, but the daughter died the night before, so wasn't no food, been eaten. And apparently they had already told Nicole that her daughter had died. So when she made that promise to take her child, she already knew she wasn't going to have to bear that responsibility. But she felt so sorry for this lady. She knew that she was losing her damn marbles. And then also we see the ceiling crashing. The ceiling crashed in. FBI coming in. It's like 15 motherfuckers, lasers just pointed on her. There's one chick that got the gun in her hand, ain't aiming at nobody, it's down at her waist, and they light her ass up and kill her. I was like, what the fuck? She died for nothing. She still died. And Nicole down on the ground screaming over her body like, no, no, no. Okay? And then, she was looking up at the ceiling, right before all this happened, because I think they had turned the air off. Something had happened. She looking up at the ceiling. Oh, when her mama told her that the baby was dead, I think the realization was coming all back to her, and she was trying to recollect all her thoughts and everything. And come to find out, they never killed her. They didn't kill her. Thank God. This was in her mind too. It's like she might as well have been dead. That's pretty much what she was thinking. And she was able to walk her out. Nicole was able to walk her out of the bank, and they locked her up, and she been taken away. Like her landlord down there capping for her all on news, talking about they did her wrong, bitch. You the one put her out on the street. And Sinbad was down there. His name was Benny. I remember that. He was down there like, she was a good girl. She was a good woman, I stand with you. I rock with you, I don't know how he got his ass over there. The homeless be traveling all over the place. But yeah, he was there, and then we get to go back to the house, and we see her walking down the hallway in the hospital, and the blanket was empty. She wasn't carrying nobody. The baby was dead. She goes to the house, and we see all the stuff all around the house, the different medicine bottles, and her science project that she never got to take to school, the empty bathtub where she was trying to give her a bath, and all that stuff is just coming back to memory. Her laying in the bed next to her daughter's headphones. That's all that was there. It was all in her motherfucking head, child. She had already snapped. She snapped before she went to work. She was just walking around in total fucking shock. So, yeah, the movie, like I said, is called Straw. It was supposed to be, I guess, her last straw. But her last straw happened before any of these incidents of the day took place. I was wondering if the damn officer was the one who, did she really even have that car accident shit? And was that the only thing that was true? Was that the only thing did she really kill her boss? I think so. Yeah, they seen the video and all that shit. Okay, so yeah, child. Anyway, it wasn't a bad movie. It's good. It's interesting to see. If you haven't watched it and I didn't ruin it for you, go ahead and open Netflix. Because I know I left out a lot of stuff. Y'all know I did. I left out a lot of stuff. I always do. Go on over there and watch it and enjoy a good movie. Get ready to cry though. You're going to cry a couple times. See you in the next video. Peace.